Welcome to the Big Brother Breakdown with Joleen. Welcome to the BB Breakdown with Joleen. That's me. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Big Brother Breakdown with Joleen. I just realized I forgot to tag up this video, so it's probably not. You're probably not finding it in the algorithm. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna multitask this Sunday morning. How is everyone doing this Sunday morning? Hello, Ben. Thank you so much. This music is so good. You are so good, my friend. Okay, so how is everybody doing? We are going to do our BB Besties every Sunday, except for next Sunday. It's complicated, but you guys you'll understand. I meet with my BB Besties, which is Maranda from Honestly Honaker, Sarah from Nerdtainment, and BusyBlu. Now, I don't know if BusyBlu is going to join us today because he is with his fam bam, so he might be enjoying being a new uncle. So give all your love to BusyBlu. He's a new uncle, and we all know being auntie and uncle is the best. I'm going to see my littles later this week, I should say. So I'm very excited. But today I definitely have Sarah and Maranda. We're going to be breaking down all of the Big Brother live feed, cuckoo bananas craziness, you guys. And these 2 weeks have been so manic. I feel like I got to get back on my Limerick doll. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay, those of you who followed me for a while, you remember the misdiagnosis. But in all seriousness, it's been cuckoo. And last night was bananas. And French dressing tried to quit. He played that card. He's playing all the cards. He is someone I've never seen anyone play with so much power, yet so much victimhood. The dichotomy is crazy. If you are just joining, hit that like. It helps us so much, you guys, and get out to more Big Brother fans and people that want. I'm trying to multitask. Did I do it, guys? Did I do it? Am I doing it? Oh, do I want to tag this? Rob has a podcast. Why not? Sorry, Rob. Anyways, okay. So smash the like, subscribe if you're not subscribed, share it on your social media. I did attempt to do a rainbow eye. I was catching up on, oh my God, this one is so bad. I got to work on my wings because my wings one is broken. With a broken wing, you know that song? She carries herself, though you ought to see her fly. I don't think that's the words, but you guys know what I'm talking about. This is a broken wing. This is ready. I was catching up on the BB feed yesterday and Teen Mom 2, because who doesn't? Hello. And Kale from Teen Mom 2, she had a rainbow eye that she got professionally done. And I thought, well, I could do that in a very less professional way. For sure, I could do that. So I did it. I look so fresh and so clean, but I have to wash my hair. It's been a while, and it's dry shampooed out, and I need to do that. Okay, we're talking a lot, but I want to bring up my BB Besties so we can just get right into all this stuff. I think I tagged my video. We're doing everything we need to do. Yes, Daniel, come through eyeshadow. We're trying. We just have to work on this wing. Okay, let me bring my girls up. All right, so we have Maranda and Sarah. Let me get rid of my banner. How are you, ladies?
Hello.
Hi.
Well, I don't have rainbow eyeshadow, that's for sure.
Me neither.
But I do have a ton of dry shampoo in, like you.
Oh, good.
Was about to take a shower, and then Joleen texted that we were going live, and I was like, "Oh crap, I forgot!" And then here we are. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And Joleen,
thank you.
Do you have a child in the background?
I know that your pillow. It's your pillow.
It's a pillow? Okay.
Oh, that's my little Frankie Tanky Stanky. That's my little
okay.
nephew. So
it doesn't look like it looks like a Chucky from this angle.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, because he's holding my redhead Cabbage Patch dolls. When I left to pursue my big dreams in LA years and years ago, I left behind my Cabbage Patch twins I got in second grade from my grandma Ethel, and no one was caring for them. And then Frankie came along and was born, and he became their caretaker. And so I appreciate him. So they sent me a pillow with a picture of him taking care of my children I left behind to become a Hollywood darling. Is that what we call them? Or become another statistic, okay? And on the other side is me and Nana and Lucy. And thank you, Deanna Girl Jules, for the super chat, you guys. Super chat is a great way to support the channel. Yes. Happy Sunday. Your makeup is on point. This week is wonderful at BB. Yes.
I love that
Patreon, PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo in the description. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Miranda.
I love that you coordinated your makeup with your strap.
It's a bra.
Okay.
And my necklace here is giving me a little bit of a rash. We got a lot.
Well, we were going to ignore that, but if you want to include that too, then it looks like it coordinated with your rash too.
Ooh, thank you.
But it looks fantastic. I just love someone who coordinates, you know?
My Aquarius self sometimes coordinates. I sometimes try to make things look okay and make sense. Okay. So French onion soup. All right. So have you guys been glued to the feeds or what?
Yeah, I've had to take breaks here and there because French is too much.
Yeah, like glued in like a one eye.
Like I'm a light glue.
Yeah. Like you passing a car wreck on the freeway and you're like, I kind of want to look, like I want to peek, but it's also like terrifying at the same time. Yeah,
during my breaks, I'm hooked onto Twitter. So is it really a break? I might as well just be on the feeds, you know?
Right, true.
Yeah, I don't think it's really a break then. I forgot to crack my Diet Coke. You guys let us know what you're sipping on. ASMR. Whoa, that was a quick one.
Wow, look at Sarah and I are hydrated.
Got to stay hydrated, but also still nursing my coffee.
On the side. I wonder if it's still hot. Coffee and Diet Coke isn't a good mixture, you guys.
No, what are you doing?
Although they make that now. Did you see that Coke and coffee thing that they make now?
Gross. No.
It's literally a Coke coffee in a can. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
I'm obviously not going to try it, but
that's too far, you guys. That's too far. Okay.
All
right, let's get right into it. So yesterday, so as you guys know, if you didn't know already, I was going to pull up. I normally have handy slides. I'll probably have slides if I go later tonight after the episode, but I don't. Right now, I just have my old.
There's an episode tonight? Oh yeah, today's Sunday.
Sunday.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Mirandy.
I feel like we just had an episode.
Well, it's because these live feeds are so bananas. But if you guys didn't know, let me just pull up who's on the block and all that. Okay, I'm going to present in my Canva. I'm so professional, you guys. Okay. So let me just pull this up and then we'll tell you all the things that you need to know. Even though I think you're mostly here for our commentary than just facts about things. Okay. So, so on the block right now is Brittany and French dressing, which is like, and then, Brittany, she's, we'll get into that. And then HOH, obviously, Kylan. Yeah. Now,
mind you, that Brittany's on Team Goddesses.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, your team?
Yeah.
I mean, I could have kind of called it with Brittany that she wasn't going to be a good gamer. Like, bless her heart and her dancing and all the awareness she's bringing forth and all that. But no.
I just love that she rambles, and she just goes on, and I love that. I do the same thing.
A lot of people have been protecting her. I mean, Kylan's a minority of who is against her. She's not in a bad place in the house.
No, she's not, but she's taking it like she is, like her own game.
Oh, sure.
She's not reading the room. She's just not very good at Big Brother at this point.
Well, yeah, that has a lot to do with her autism.
But she's also the type that's like, I'm totally loyal, not knowing that not everyone's going to be loyal to you. And sometimes you do have to pivot. And it's good to be loyal to like one or two people. Like that's the problem in Frenchie's game. It's always good to have one person you're telling the truth to. But Frenchie has no truth. It's all lies. So it's commendable in a way that Brittany is that kind of person, obviously outside of the house, but you have to know who to trust. And early on, she was like, I don't even want to be in a girls' alliance. And I don't even, so I think there's just, I just don't know if she's she's not a Big Brother strategist. Like, she's just not.
I think she did a really great job of pivoting away from Frenchie because she was like, no worries. I'm going to keep talking though, even though you don't know who's speaking. No, she was like so loyal to Frenchie those first couple days. And then as soon as she realized that he like threw her under the bus and not to trust him, she shut it down and she stopped giving him information. And so like, I was pleased to see that from her.
That's why I was surprised that now she's going the exact opposite way. I
think she might be panicking. I think she got a little stressed for a second, and it still hasn't really calm. Well, she's a little bit more calm, but I think it's still kind of stressing her out.
Sure, being on the block is hard.
Yeah, and she's not, like you said, she's not really good at picking up social cues, and that's part of her autism and being on the spectrum. And I saw a clip today on Twitter where she tried to like make a joke and nobody laughed at her, and I just was like, I wanted to punch everybody in the room because I was like, laugh at her little joke and then send her away.
I think it's a learning curve for everyone because I don't think either side. The situation Miranda's talking about, you guys might have seen on Twitter. She walks into, I believe, Azah and Xavier talking.
Yeah, they were having a conversation.
Brittany loves to make jokes about BB16. She thinks Zach Rance is the best comedian. You know, some people would say Dave Chappelle. Some people like Jerry Seinfeld. Some people like Ellen. Some people like Kathleen Madigan. Some people like Joleen Lunzer. No. But she loves Zach Rance. She's already got her speech down with a Fruit Loop Dingus. And so she comes in, she's like, guys, guess what? Okay, so like, remember when Julie said or Zach didn't know what to say? So he was like, roses are red, violets are blue. And then it was silence because she just walked in starting talking, thinking, hey, this is in my head, this is going to sound really cool. Believe me, I identified with Brittany in that moment because I've done that more times than I'd like to admit. I think everyone wants to hear what I have to say because in my head, I'm thinking, put it out there. But in that moment, Xavier and Oz are trying to have a conversation. Xavier, people are saying he was rude. I don't think he was rude one, but he just said, we're talking Gabe right now. And she goes, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Push the door. And it's no one's trying to be rude, neither party. It's just one of those misunderstandings.
I guess I am incapable of that awkward silence. So like I'll always provide the you know, like, the laugh where it's like you, because that's me genuinely laughing because it's really awkward.
Yeah. And I think we do have to remember too, Oz is dealing with some emotional stuff right now. Like I think she's having a hard time getting into this game because of, you know, maybe her own mental, and I don't want to say mental health stuff because I'm not going to put any label on her. But listen, if I was in that house, and I think everyone would agree, I would have mental health issues arise. The paranoia, the depression, the not being able to go outside, like all those things. Oops, sorry. I realize I said sorry to my desk. That's how Minnesota I am. Oops, sorry, desk. Didn't mean to hurt you. That's how crazy cuckoo this game. So Oz is struggling too. She feels like her team isn't really talking to her. She talks to Derek F, which would drive Big D, anybody cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, because he's horrendous at this game and has this gross wiener loyalty to Frenchie because he wants to bang him. It's like, bro, this isn't The Bachelor. This isn't Love Island. This isn't Bang Island. This is Big Brother.
And Frenchie, of all people, when Xavier's sitting right there, come on.
Right? I mean, we can't control people's tastes, but
I mean, I guess to each their own, but the married farmer in camouflage is just not anything I'd do.
I mean, it's not the first time we've seen people play their game because they're attracted to someone else. I mean, it's literally happening with Christian and Alyssa. I don't know who likes Whitney anymore. It's very confusing. But it happens, unfortunately.
Well, Frenchie likes Whitney. And he likes her so much he wants to yell at her.
Oh my God. We have so much to talk about, ladies. All right. Thank you, Realification, for the super chat. And I'm so sorry that casuals and we have to wake your son up and just, even if, listen, sometimes people have to hear things they don't want to hear. Just yell spoilers in his face because you love him and you're taking care of him, Realification.
Oh, real quick. Since Realification's here, thank you for my blanket, Realification.
That was from you. That was so
and
good.
I haven't seen Realification on any of my lives or video comments since. So since I see him or her, I wanted to throw that out there. Sorry.
Realification is the best. So generous, so kind.
Yeah.
So, yes, I love
that. Was my very first Amazon gift from anybody.
I love that you're getting gifts now, Sarah.
I know.
Wish list? Sarah, you need a wish list.
I don't have a wish list, but my patrons did get me some flowers and a bottle of wine for hitting 6,000 subs. It was very, very sweet of them.
Wow.
Awesome.
We are straight spoiled. Also, Ray Fletcher, hi, and thank you for the super sticker.
I like that you guys are thanking people. This is so nice.
Well, we got to get them while we see them.
Well, a lot of people cross over to our channels. Like, it's fun.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk. Okay, so all right, there's so much to talk about, and I want to stay focused here. And I feel like
Noms and then Vito.
Okay, Sarah. Okay, Noms. Okay, so Noms.
Thank you, Sarah, for reeling us in.
Sarah will reel us in because I want to go on an emotional rant about the negging in this house. I want to just get these dudes. I want to drag their asses. But But first, as Joleen would say, on the block, yes, veto. Guess who won the veto again? Derek X. Derek X, second veto in a row. Now, I want to get both of your thoughts on this because a lot of people are saying, Judge, too soon. Oh, no, he's a veto king. It's 2 vetoes. Calm down. It's veto. Do you guys think that he shouldn't have won this? Because technically he didn't need to. Sarah, I'll start with you.
No, I think he did. Yes, I understand. 2 vetoes in a row. The first 2 vetoes has put a target on people's backs in the past. But Derek X has been in a bad spot since day 2? And not because of him, because of people around him, lies that Frenchie's made up, Brent just being a controlling person. Like, poor DX. Like, I just feel so bad for him. He actually needs to show them that he's there to play, that you can't just tell him what to do and walk all over him. So I am down for him just like subtly winning comps and being like, I got it. You know, all good.
Miranda, how about you? Also, wild card, real quick, Miranda. Sarah Beth won the wild card, the jackpot.
Oh, yes.
Okay, Miranda.
That's she's on Sarah's team.
Oh, good pick.
Is she?
I thought so.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, you picked her because it's Sarah.
I literally don't know my team at all.
I was going through everybody's teams in my head earlier, and leave it to the Virgo to be doing that, huh?
Of course. I'm Sarah Beth and Kylan, so I picked up some points this week.
Yeah, I've definitely lost some points. I'm really happy for Derek X because I feel similar to Sarah. I feel like he needs this because I don't feel like I think a lot of people in the house are thinking that because he isn't super familiar with this game, that he's disposable and an easy target and an easy excuse. And so I think...
Yeah, go ahead, sorry. I was going to say he was going to be the target this week just because people were being lazy and like, oh, he's already been targeted. Right. You know?
Yeah. And it's just such an easy excuse, which I always find boring to watch, like when they do the easy excuse nominations. Right. But I'm really happy that he's kind of showing people that he can bring it and he can contribute something to an alliance if people are so inclined, which we know people are getting more interested. And so I thought that it was really important for him to win this. And I mean, if I was naturally good at veto competitions, I can't say that I would be throwing them. I would be trying to win them all the time because it can't hurt to win a veto and make sure you're safe.
Yeah.
Agreed. I agree. I feel like at this point, kind of what both of you are saying, to piggyback on that, he was already a target. They were already dismissive of him. And it's like, okay, if I'm going to be a target already, let me show you why I should be a target. But granted, no matter what, he's going to be a target. But also I feel like he had something to prove because they were really talking down to him, treating him like he wasn't even worthy of being there. That's the vibe I got from these people. They were being just total, especially French dressing and Spirit Airlines, aka Brent. They were just speaking so I did not like it. So I don't think there's anything wrong with him winning this. More power to you. He's working with Kylan. They've talked even more. So this just helps the people he's working with make sure that they are able to be in power and make the decisions this week. So there you go. Whenever I see Sarah like this, I know I said something good because then
I know I'm on the right track in Sarah's mind.
I said it well. It's like, okay, Joleen, all right, she's all right. This isn't a joke. She's got this one. I like that. Okay,
got it.
And then normally when Sarah goes, that's when I'm like, oh shoot, I need to stop talking.
No. Y'all, my face, it has its own brain. I love it.
Because then I know, okay, Joleen, you're talking strategic. You're not going emotional. You're not going on comedy rant. I'm strategy.
We're getting Sarah's approval.
I know. I'm like, Mommy, you proud of me? BB, Mommy, you proud of me? All right. So this happens. And then we come back from the veto. And there's been lots of game talk throughout the day. And French dressing, his new strategy is, instead of owning the mess that was last week, we saw this happening even while he was still HOH, he's making the new narrative is everything I wanted to happen happened the exact way I wanted it to happen. I took out a jock with abs early on. I meant it. I'm still protecting women. I'm still protecting people of color. I'm the show. I'm amazing. I'm entertaining. And I have chickens. Like, my life is great. Cry, 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 cry. talk to a photograph. Look at this photograph. He's literally, what's that horrible band that sings a song?
Nickelback.
Yeah, he's Nickelback. That's how horrible he is. He's Nickelback. He's Big Brother Nickelback. He's just, ugh. So to ask me what I really feel. So he's going around the house saying, okay, I'm going to take out the jocks. Like now he's going to be the savior because the jocks, he's saying, turned on him. Not he blew up his own game and got cuckoo bananas and just went on a power trip and became a victim while having HOH-itis, which is like, wow, that's next level delusion. Now he's like, the jocks screwed me over. They always do this. They're not going to get away with this. The jocks. Okay? I got a Black Lives Matter flag on my truck. Okay? My friend is gay. They're not going to get away with this. I'm like, bro, you wanted to be in with them. Brent is your best friend. You're talking from a place of hurt. You're hurt. Frenchie's that kid that's like, he wants to identify with the nerds or the outcasts or the people that aren't in the in crowd, you know? But in all reality, he wants to be their friend so bad. He wants to be the cool kids, but they're not cool. Whitney and Brent, come on. But in the like, you know, society.
In the Big Brother world.
Yes. So, but he wants to be with them so bad that he was willing. You effed up your whole game, your strategy going in for Brent talking to you for 2 seconds. You targeted women because they gave you a boner, and he did. I say his strategy is similar to Russell Hance's nephew when he came to that season of Big Brother, Sarah Brand.
Oh, Willie, right?
Yeah, Willie.
Willie was the brother. I'm talking about Survivor, the nephew. Oh. When he came into Survivor and he was like, I'm born again and I cheat on my wife, but no more. And that girl's too attractive and my boner. Like he punished the women he was attracted to.
Oh, right.
To not trust himself because he didn't trust himself. It's like, it is not our fault that you have no control over yourself, sir. You know, Tilly's just like, give me all the attention. But it's not her fault she's attractive. He's punishing attractive people because he wants to hook up with them because he likes them. He's done it to Whitney. He's doing it to Alyssa. He's punishing pretty women that he can't be with because he's married. But guess what? No one would be with you even if you weren't married.
Yeah, like, do you really think that Whitney...
No.
Never mind. I don't want to be mean. But, like, regardless, you're a married person. I actually spoke to Sparrow about this on our drive home from the Home Depot today. Oh. And I broke it down to him, you know, because... I mean, he's my husband. He has to listen to me bitch about Big Brother, like, duh. And so I was explaining to him, and the whole time he was giving me Sarah faces where he was like, nah. And then, so I stopped talking after I explained to him the Whitney thing. I was like, yeah, this guy, he yelled at her, and then he apologized for yelling at her because he says that he likes her. And he's like, but he's married. I was like, thank you for following. Exactly.
He and Brent, French dressing and Brent are very toxic men. Men out there, don't be French dressing and Brent. All they know to do is neg women. And negging is this form of like teasing, putting down someone because you like them. It's this unfortunate thing that we tell little girls when they're little, where we say, oh, did he hit you? It just means he likes you. No, that means he's a dickhead kid and his parents need to do a better job raising him. That doesn't mean he likes you. Guys mean to you, he doesn't like you. If he's nice to you, he likes you. So when society says, why do women only fall for assholes? Because that's what you told us to do since we were this big. And bingo, we retain that information. So Brent does that in the house. He negs Alyssa constantly. He just, it's you can
wasn't he bitching about women who take more than 5 minutes to put on makeup?
Guess what, Brent? This took 12 minutes to put on, bitch. And I'll never apologize to your host.
Well, you just lost it with Brent.
Oh no.
There goes your possibility with Mr.
It's
Brent.
None of your business what we do with our bodies, what we put on our faces. That's not your concern, Brent. Women don't exist just to be attractive to you. We don't care. How about you work on being attractive to us and not just getting abs because you're you're in the itty bitty titty committee, but I'm talking about being a good person, learning how to talk to women, treat them nicely. I can't stand this. And this is a social game where we see mirrors held up. And I think most women, I don't want to speak for you two, but I think we can relate to guys like this. We've had these kind of men in our life or cross our paths. And it's very it's just so toxic and it's very annoying, and it's annoying to watch, and it's annoying to watch the women have to tiptoe around them, whether it's Frenchie yelling at Whitney, which we'll get into, and I was proud of her for being like, I did nothing wrong to you, I just exist, and that hurts your feelings, and that's on you. She didn't say that, I wish she would have, but that's my thought. And then Brent, you know, doing the same thing to women with Alyssa, and putting her down and saying these effed up things. If you like her, tell her you like her. That's
but it's like dudes, most women get done up to be attractive to either themselves or other women. Like a few weeks ago, I was walking past a few stores and I was wearing a really cute little kimono, and another woman stopped me. She's like, I love your outfit. And I was like, well, thank you. And so I continued walking like I was the damn queen. That's all it took, was one other woman stopping me and complimenting my outfit. And I was like, I am the bitch.
We don't dress for dudes. Like, that isn't it. We dress for ourselves, like Miranda says, or we dress for women. So there's so many instances in the house now to point out. And one that Brianna brings up, which I do want to get you ladies' thoughts on. I just don't want to rant this whole thing. And I apologize because I invited you here and I'm just going on. But I'm so, this kind of stuff just, you know me, it gets to me. So he literally, Brent, who likes Alyssa, it's clear as day. Everybody, you know, he just loves her. But yet he's treating her like crap. He's negging her. So she brings over a piece of cake from her birthday, mind you. And he says, what are you eating, little rat? Because I don't know where where the little rat or whatever he calls her, that name evolved. And he goes, oh, you're going to turn into a big fat hamster or a guinea pig if you keep eating that cake.
I would have socked him in the face. Or I would have been like, that's little dick energy. And we don't accept that in my area.
Yeah.
Like, we don't welcome little dick energy in this general vicinity. So you need to step aside.
Yeah, that's a hard pass on anyone who tells someone else what they can or cannot eat and how that's going to affect their body. But this is like just solid Brent, like, right? He says this kind of stuff to everyone. Of like, he told Derek X, like, I saved you. You're here because of me. Everything's about me. Like, Brent just likes to sort of lord himself over people. But I do find this like hilarious that Brent wanted Alyssa, got mad at Christian for even just like saying he was interested in Alyssa, then tells Alyssa he's attracted to Hannah. Like, this is how he's flirting with Alyssa, is by saying, I don't know, Hannah, you know, Hannah's the one that I'm interested in. And then Alyssa moves on to Christian. I don't know if Alyssa was entertaining like maybe Brent or not, but she is solidly with Christian now, and Brent lost. So
I mean, I can't imagine, to be honest, anybody being attracted to Brent. He's got a stank energy all the time. He's constantly with Frenchie. Who?
Whitney, she loves her.
Oh, well, she's on my SH. If she wasn't on Team Goddesses, her and I would not be able to be friends either. But I tolerate her because she's on my team.
Yeah.
So if they want to be together, they can be together because that's perfect. So go in the corner, you two. But I'm not even a huge Alyssa fan, but he needs to leave her alone. Stop calling her a rat. She needs to come up with a nickname to call him back, like, you know, like cauliflower face or something. I don't know.
Like small penis, something like that.
That's not my name. You know, my name is Alyssa, bitch. I got a whole company. Yeah. Okay. You tell me where the bathrooms is and bring me an apple juice when I'm in flight. And that's the only conversation we're going to have. Honestly,
yeah. And it's always the men who have like fragile egos that pull that kind of stuff.
It really is. And I just hate.
Did you guys see
talking down to these women when we have our first cast of like really powerful, cool chicks? Sorry, Sarah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, you guys always suck me into stuff I don't talk about, but here we are. Did you guys see Brent's sister on Reddit?
No.
Somebody was talking smack about Brent and she was like, lol, that's my brother. And then they were like, wait, what, for reals? And she was like, she like went in and she was like, yeah, she said he has a personality disorder. She's like, yeah, I'm cuter and don't have a personality disorder. And I was like, oh, is this girl for
That's
real?
Such sibling energy.
This was like the first week. It was like last week sometime. And I was like, oh.
Well, because he probably says stuff like that to her too.
Right? You know it. And she's like,
oh my God.
And then didn't he also say that he's going to get his wife to sign a prenup or something.
Yes, and he has.
I'm like, for what?
You know what I did like about Brent? I'm going to find the silver lining here. He wants to get a vasectomy so that because he feels like birth control is the man's responsibility. He wants to be in control. And I was
agree.
You know what? That is a wonderful thought, Brent.
Expanding on that little bit of feminist ideology you have. Just keep expanding, keep reading, keep informing yourself about our gender. Oh my God.
Well, at least his future wife won't have to get her tubes tied, but she will be on a prenup that's pointless.
Oh my gosh. What? Frenchie and Brent's sisters? Oh, they need a podcast. I thought you said they had one. I was like,
You're like, what, that's right now.
I mean, imagine if that's your brother. It would be very disappointing. Very disappointing. And we can't blame the women because if anything, if they treat women like this in the house, imagine what their sisters had to tolerate.
Oh yeah. I don't think Frenchie's used to being spoken to the way that he gets spoken to by these intelligent women who stand up for themselves. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why he responds like as like a toddler, you know, or like a second grade boy who pokes at the girls that he likes, you know, because he doesn't know how to respond to intelligent, strong women defending themselves.
No. I think it's men too. Like, I think that what we see from Frenchie is like, first off, one of the worst Big Brother players we've ever seen, and he's making a mess. And then he says things like to Travis, he was like, I'm so, like right before Travis is leaving. So, man, I hate this, but you really should have, you know, XYZ. It's always, I'm so sorry that you did this. And now you're in this situation. Like he says it to male and female. And I think he's used to people being like, oh my God, you're right. Like, you know, that sort of, you know, the people who sort of like want to control and put you down. And that's what was so great. You like started to talk about the conversation with Whitney because she was like, what are the things that you're trying to apologize about? Like she did not come groveling back to him of like, you're right. I shouldn't have gone against you.
What exactly can you give us the synopsis of what happened? So French dressing decides now Whitney's public enemy number one. She's turned on him. And so he's going to go confront her. And that happened. And now he's going to go apologize when he said, I'm out. And then that happened a day ago or so, a couple days ago. And then now he goes to Whitney because now he's on the block. Right. And he's got to make it right because he did this right before Noms. So, of course, everyone going up into Kylan's room is going to be like, this dude's off his rocker. Something's
wrong.
Which
is exactly what happened.
Yeah. He got paranoid. He spun himself up into a whatever. Real bad timing, because you were being protected. But he blew up his closest allies, Whitney and Brent and Christian, and they obviously threw him under the bus. So when he gets put on the block, he did this like, oh, woe is me. Man, I just really, your best interest was always my goal, but you really hurt me. Like, you know, he would like start to kind of apologize and then tell you what you did wrong. Mm-hmm. And so by the time he got to Whitney, she was like, not taking any of it. She did not give him what he wanted to hear. She was actually like turning it back on him and saying like, what exactly have you said? Like, what are you, he basically was like, what are you apologizing for? And he like couldn't answer it. But she was like, you said you were brought into a female alliance and now I'm hearing you started it. And he's like, yeah, I mean, you know, I got them started. I was helping them get started. Like he's just getting caught in all of his dumb lies that don't make any sense. And then that's why the next conversation, because Whitney did not give him what he needed, he goes to Derek F., who's the one person in the house who will give it to him, and is like, I'm quitting. I'm leaving. I can't be in the game anymore. And of course, Derek is like, no, but I love you. And then Frenchie got everything he needed from that. So
yeah, he needs his ego stroked a lot, that guy.
Miranda, what did you think watching all this go down yesterday from Frenchie being like the night before, blowing up his alliance the day before and calling Whitney out in front of people who aren't even in the slaughterhouse, even though he's so messy and has final twos with everybody. And he just, French dressing is really bad at this game. And then being put on the block and telling Kylan, it's okay, I'm going to fight for the veto. And I'm taking Brittany off because now he's going to be the martyr. And he thinks America likes him and is going to give him, you guys, he actually thought that America, we love him, and we're going to send him a secret power. We're going to give him a coup d'etat, and he's going to have this, he's going to get something. And then he's like, I'm going to save Britney. You already promised to save a bunch of people. Your word is nothing. It's dust. It means it's vapor, bro. You have proven to be a straight liar. Play the game strategically for yourself or whatever. That's fine. But you came in wanting to cape and be a hero for women and POCs and use that for game, which is really, really dirty, knowing that they've been underrepresented and in this game haven't been treated fairly at all in the past. Yeah. And finally, we're getting a little more representation. So that's really, really dirty. Then he loses the veto and then tries to apologize when it doesn't work. And now he's with Derek Frazier. And just a couple hours before, he's like, this is going to be the best alliance in the history. He's talking to the cameras. He talked to us a couple days before. I know I'm throwing so much at you, Miranda, but just like, this is how crazy this guy's world is. It's week 2. And he's like, I'm the best. Everyone here sucks. I'm the most entertaining. And Xavier can't win because he's not going to know what to do with the money. I will. I'm going to give it to charity. I'm not like children or something. Is that what people like? Children? Yeah, I like children. Okay, sure. Okay.
He's like, I didn't want to tell anybody this, but I was going to give all my money to the children. Okay.
I saw that. Oh my God.
You say you're going to buy a tub of dildos. Then tell me these lies. Like, I don't care what you're going to spend your money on. I just want to watch people play this game. So Miranda, after me saying all that,
Joleen, it's so funny because my ADD while you were going through that, I was like, okay, we're still talking about Frenchie. We're talking about. I had to like remind myself in my mind that we're on Frenchie because I'm getting distracted by all the story and all the different.
And I did take my ADHD medicine today. I totally took it, but I don't think it's kicked in yet. Okay, so what did you think about just the blow up, everything about French dressing? Watching this to then the feeds go down because this dum has to go to the DR and they got to talk him into not quitting. Tell me everything, Miranda.
I don't even know what to talk about. It was just a lot, that it was all just a lot.
Here's my question, Miranda. Do you think he actually went into the DR and tried to self-evict?
Thank you, teacher Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah.
Well, teacher Sarah, no, I don't. I think he went in there and pouted for however long. But I am shocked that he hasn't pulled a Johnny Fairplay yet and tried to use or whoever that was that tried to use his grandma having cancer. Was it Johnny Fairplay?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
Look at Survivor. Survivor reference.
But yeah, I'm shocked that he hasn't pulled one of those. I mean, not saying that I wouldn't try to do that too. Like, I probably would try to pull one of those. Like, oh my gosh, my mom, she's got a blood disorder. Like I would use all of my mom's medical shit for like advantage. But I'm shocked that he hasn't pulled one of those out of his butt yet. But the week isn't over yet. So I feel like we can expect everything from Frenchie. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he comes up with. But I wanted to punch him in the face multiple times this week. Yeah. I know that's a little violent, but I just can't stand that there's men out there who talk to women the way that he does, who like manipulates and lies. And I know it's a game. I know that it's a game where people manipulate and lie, but he does it in a way that I think that he does this in real life. Yeah. I think that this is him in real life going all over the place and being like that. The only thing is I think that in real life, he is able to work it. But in the house, he's surrounded by so many different people from different walks of life where they're like, this doesn't work for me. You're not going to manipulate me.
He's not smart enough. That's his main problem. Unfortunately, there are men who are smart enough who could get away with this strategy and really manipulate people.
I'm smart.
Delivered better.
You'll see. I'm smart.
I'm smart. Wait till you go home and you watch this back. Okay.
You guys,
you're going to be sorry.
I'm smart.
I'm smart. SMRT. You're going to be begging to come to my farm, talk to my wife who I can toss around, unlike Whitney, fat shame.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this guy he's just not smart enough, but he thinks he is. You are talking to people who are actually educated and make it a point to educate themselves. And he's out there doing some performative BS, which is so readable to even someone with the faintest brain. They're just like, oh, okay, clearly this is performative. Like from day one. You just
and there's so many people that are able to put the pieces together and compare notes. I don't think in real life he has that issue. So, you know, like, it's really difficult for him to go to one person and say, oh, so-and-so said this about you. That's terrible, because so-and-so can come and compare notes with that person, you know, like it's difficult. He's not having a very good time doing this, I don't think, but it's really frustrating to watch him do what he's doing.
I think it was Azza called him like a broken clock that's right a couple times or whatever that saying is. And I think she's right, because there have been moments where I'm like, okay, if anyone else tried to pull this, I would be like, great move. This is genius.
Yeah.
Let's go. Because he has had some decent strategies, but he came into the house so erratic, so all over the place. He lost everyone's trust from the get-go.
Yeah.
He never took a moment. Like, as soon as he was nominated, he should have gone back into a room, sat with himself, and thought about like one of these strategies. Like Miranda said, use your grandma, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'm going to donate to children.
Stick to it.
Yeah. Pick your road. But he just never did that. He would like immediately go this way and then immediately switch to this way. And so people don't believe him or trust him. And again, one of the worst Big Brother players we've seen.
When you have too many stories, you start forgetting your roads and your chapters and your side stories and things like that. And he started off with I'm never going to put a woman up or a POC. I'm a member of the NAACP. And now I'm a Republican who is hated by my entire Republican family. What else? Oh, he hates Whitney because she's heavier and he can't throw her into a wall.
I like a lady I can pick up and toss. I don't know why that offended her.
Like, where did that even come from, sir? All she says, she doesn't want to lay down in bed with you or whatever it was. She want to
cuddle you. And she even then protected his ego, because he was like, sorry, I can't cuddle you. And she goes, that's okay. I don't want to cuddle you. And then she just going on. And then he was like, well, that's a bit, he was about to say like a bitchy thing to say, or a bitch move. And then he caught himself and he turned into a victim. You just invited yourself to cuddle with her. She said, no, thank you, sir, very politely. And then you took offense to it because your toxic masculinity and fragile ego won't let you get past the fact that this woman doesn't want to cuddle you. You shouldn't want to cuddle her. You're married. Go cuddle with the cows. Yeah. Actually, don't, because the cows have to consent too. Everything must consent. Okay. So then she even tried to protect him and say, I'm only doing this because you have a wife. And he's like, yes, okay. Because she gets, because women, I talked about this on my last live, women, we have to do this constantly with toxic men, you know, with this toxic masculinity, because we don't know if they're going to blow up on us or we're going to turn into a Dateline NBC episode.
Yeah, we always have to be gentle.
Not to get killed. We have to be gentle with these fragile egos, and it sucks. So
it's like gentle parenting, but gentle rejecting, and it rarely works in our favor, because usually, and I was telling Sparrow this too, I was like, it always ends up being retorted with some insult or something, and Sparrow's only reply towards Frenchie was he shook his head and he's like, dude's weird.
Because healthy men see that and they go, oh, I don't want to be associated with that. This is an unhealthy, toxic man we're talking about. So she tried to do the thing, and then he was like, thank you for that. Oh my God, you're so disgusting. Real VB, thank you for the super chat. Says, I'm glad I caught you ladies live. Also, I'm disappointed in Big D, and Azza has made me nervous, or has me nervous. Unless she has a great poker face, I'm wrong. Sarah, what do you think? Because Azza's she did take up for Frenchie yesterday. What do you think her strategy? What do you think's going on in her head?
I'm worried about Azza. She started so strong with her social game, but she's an introverted extrovert, which I relate to a lot. And she has to take her alone time and her downtime. And so she's back in that bedroom quite a bit. And she has narrowed the people that she talks to. And Big D being one of the few people that she talks to. And she also talks to Frenchie a lot because he's the captain of her team. So
and Big D is constantly lounging in there. And then Frenchie is constantly chasing Big D, or Big D is constantly attached to Big Frenchie, you know? So it's like Azza she's being forced with these two because that's where her bed is.
Yeah. Yes. I feel so bad for her, but because she she can see that, yeah, Frenchie is like a little messed up or whatever, but she doesn't think he's like necessarily the target right now. Like her pitch was to get Brittany down and put Brent up, which I applaud your desire to get Brent out, but like you have to stay the course when Big Brother players put up like a target or a threat and then convince themselves that like, well, this person is now sad. They're always going to be a target. We don't have to get them out now. We'll get them out later. And then they move their target. That really bothers me. And she's been like spearheading that and wanting that to happen. So I just feel like she's a little out of the loop, not quite seeing the whole house. And that concerns me as well.
Yeah, I think so too. And on that, I'm going to bring in our fourth bestie, BusyBlu, into the show.
It's Big B. Oh.
Now I know you're traveling with your fam and stuff, but
where's the baby? Where's the baby?
The baby's at my sister's house. I wouldn't be this loud. You know how loud I am. She's like, And every time I've seen her, she's like, can you just bring me some burgers? And then you go.
Are you caught up on the feeds, sir?
I am not. I was going to catch up on the feeds while I was driving back. I'm going to be leaving soon, so I can head back home.
Oh, so much is happening. We'll catch you up. We'll keep you here, and then just chime in whenever you want to, and you feel the need. If you got to drop to go see the babes, we totally understand. So we told everyone he's the new uncle.
He's so little.
He's so little. I posted a picture of my of him on my Instagram. You guys go see him. He's like, because my family, we're all 6 feet and taller. So to see a little thing, that's like, oh my gosh, he's so little.
Yay. All right. So welcome BusyBlu into this. Okay. So
Sarah, smile. I'm just going to sing because
Sarah, get it.
Wow, Sarah.
Okay. So where were we? Let's see. So now we have to talk about, so Frenchie's strategy.
Oh, we were talking about Azah and
Azah. So
we're worried.
I think I agree with both of you. I'm worried too, but I think it's impossible for this toxic team not to rub off on her. She's got French dressing and she's got Big D who's just looking for Frenchie's little D.
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot that Big D and Frenchie are on her team.
Yes, and then now Brittany, who is, since being put up now, she's more paranoid, so she's leaning toward the Frenchie is our god type.
Yeah, and real quick, the way I lost two of my team members, Brittany and Azah, are on Frenchie's team. The one I despise. I was like, no.
I know. I feel.
But all the more reason to get Frenchie out, and then they'll.
I know. Well, that's what I'm rooting for.
So
I'm sorry, Busy. I know he's on your team, but I need him gone.
It's fine. I have not heard any positive things about him. I'm not sure if we already talked about the self-evict thing. So, like, I'm not even sure. I don't know what I want from him right now outside of leaving.
Well, he's trying to self-evict now. He went from HOH to blowing up his alliance to on the block to I'm going to be a martyr again to now I guess I'll go apologize, but not really apologize to Whitney. How dare she be an attractive woman?
Is he on the block?
He's on the block. Him and Brittany are on the block. Kylan put him on the block. The wild card was won by Sarah Beth, and the veto was won by Derek X again. And Derek X is not going to use the power of veto. And obviously, and so now the only one really campaigning hard for French dressing is Derek Frazier.
Derek F.
Yep, and then a little bit of Azah and Brittany because Brittany's on the block with French dressing.
Yeah.
So I think what's happened, so now French dressing, he got so upset because things aren't going his way. You can't go from he's such a victim, he's such a baby that now he was going to self-evict. So our feeds went down nonstop when they could have been really good. Go ahead, Sarah.
Did he faint in the Victoria's Secret? That always works.
Did he?
What?
Victoria's Secret Karen. He should have gotten the floor and squatty pottied
I keep forgetting about her.
Put a pillow on the floor and just go down.
Fall perfectly on your purse and scream. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I want to know if you guys think he really was trying to self-evict.
I don't. I think he was pouting in there.
Pouting.
It's all performance with him. Yeah. I think he had you know, like, yes, if he had gone in there and they called the producers and then like talked him down, but I don't even think he did. He went in there and he was like, where are these people?
What did he do? Go ahead, Sarah.
Where are these people?
You guys, Frenchie is turning into Carol from BB-8, and you know how Carol from BB-8. Carol's just like, I think I got enough followers on Carol's Comedy Corner on Facebook, so I think I'm going to just take off. And it's like, no, Carol, you have to play the game. But French dressing didn't get his way, so he wants to take his toys and go home. He wants his mommy to come pick him up. He's like, I'm done with the sleepover, but you didn't even sleep. I don't care. No one played with me. Didn't do what I want to do. So now he wants to leave, allegedly.
Can you imagine, though? Imagine that he's such a Big Brother fan. He's tried out so many years. He lived, this is his dream. And then week 2, he's on the block and he's like, I want to go home. Yeah. Oh my, so embarrassed.
Then
so embarrassing.
Just admitting, I came in, I bit off more than I can chew. I'm so sorry. I do just receive the NAACP emails, and that's where I'm getting all my information from. I've never read an actual book. And I just want to make it right again. Or can we just redo? I'm so sorry. Women, POC. Oh gosh.
That would require some self-awareness, Joleen. Yeah. You're asking a lot.
I got too wrapped up in thinking I know what Twitter wants and I want to be cool. And I've never been cool. Look at these arms, you know. And then
do we think he'll last on Twitter?
He ain't coming to Twitter. Woo!
He's going to be coming under an alias. He's going to get dragged city township.
But I don't think he'll be able to resist. I think he's so into himself that he won't be able to resist to see what people were saying about him and defend himself. He's not going to be able to not defend himself.
Because I think he's going to leave the house thinking we were, you know, he's sitting there waiting for a power right now from us. Like he thinks he's our favorite.
Wait a second, Sarah.
He is busy. He thinks we're gonna give him a power.
Yeah.
The delusions, the grandeur. Yeah. I know he is not after trying to sell it. Vic, he think now we gonna give him a power as a Big Brother fan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, he knows that we are just so mad and screaming that he's on the block, and we are voting for him right now to save him. So of course he's gonna immediately go to Twitter and be like, "Y'all, your hero is here," and then.
Just because you say you're one of us doesn't mean we're going to accept you as one of us. You've played like garbage and you've used issues to further your game that shouldn't be used in this game. Like you're showing yourself to be a trash person with no self-awareness and zero loyalty in a game where you do have to tell the truth to somebody.
And he's been a Big Brother fan for so long. We just started the show. How long ago did we even give someone something? And now he's thinking like we going to give him it's week 2 and we are now voting for. Who put this in his head? Come on, Jose. I don't even understand. Oh.
He did.
He's making up the rules to the game.
Yes.
Oh my God.
To life.
But he's been doing this since last week too, didn't he? Yeah. He mentioned, Kylan, you could get a power. You could walk into the diary room and get a power. He's really stuck on this power thing.
What he must have stopped watching during that season.
His heart.
Yeah.
We're not doing that.
Maybe his BB fan is like he's a fan of BB like 16 or some like one of those seasons where the powers came in, because he was also talking about Battleback or whatever. What was it called? The Battleback, right?
Yeah.
I forget. You guys know.
That's what he was talking about, Miranda. You're right.
Yeah, but I refuse to acknowledge him as the BB Twitter super fan of the season. That is reserved strictly for Tiffany.
For Tiffany, we have found Tiffany. She is
and Claire, and those two are the BB
I never
Twitter
felt her.
fans.
I always said from the beginning. Now I did pick Frenchie because I felt like maybe the girl could do something. But I have always stood by Tiffany, and I still continuously will. I think she didn't want to take her home, and I said that from the beginning. Now Frenchie, on the other hand, I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, it was a lesson judgment. I don't know what I was doing. Okay.
Not your fault, Busy. You thought maybe he could get some points, and he said,
we appreciated you taking Frenchie in the draft for us.
Joleen, we were all shocked at how quickly Busy took Frenchie. Like, we thought he was going to be the last pick.
It's crazy, and I picked the first, and I was telling Jessica this the other day, and I was telling her, this is all your fault. Like, this is all your fault. And she was texting me today, telling me, I think you're going to be able to interview the next house guest. And I told her, girl, it looks like it's going to be Frenchie, and I don't want to do it. So do not put me on there and tell CBS no. This is very heartbreaking. It's the fall from grace. At first, I was like, "Oh my god, I got all the points," and then I was like, "I don't know that guy." Like it was so disgusting.
Yeah, I don't know her.
You'll asked on the feeds. She was like, "America, hi, it's me, Brittany." I just love doing a TikTok dance every time I talk about Brittany because I feel like she's always dancing. And she was like, "It's me, Brittany from BB23," and we're like, "We know Brittany," and it's just so funny. And so she's like, "Hey, if you guys hashtag save Brit and Frenchie, get it trending," and then someone like 13 hours later looked it up and nobody.
Yeah,
girl. No, run from him. Stay with the King Slayers. Run, Brit. Someone.
I love Brittany so much. I just need her to not associate with.
I know. Love Brittany is Tiffany. I think Tiffany sees Brittany as being a little performative herself and squeezing out tears. She was saying on the feeds during the nom ceremony, and I think she thinks she's. I don't think she
cried for an hour.
It was a little much.
Well, but like, I don't think those were squeezed out. If it lasts an hour, I don't think that was like fake.
I think it was genuine.
Look at her. Once you start, sometimes you just can't stop.
Well, and yeah, like if I go on a cry bender, I'm going. Like if I'm going to let one out, I'm letting them all out.
I'm already here.
Might as well.
What's happening? I think Brittany, like we said early on before Busy got here, like I think she's confused on. I really think she's confused because she has this in her head, like, I'm going to be so loyal and I don't tell anybody. It's like in the Big Brother house, if everyone's lying around you, but you're going to remain this loyalty, it's going to drive you crazy.
Well, and I think that's because she has this idea that in Big Brother, you have to be loyal to people. She hasn't grasped that it's a loyal hopping kind of thing. You know, you got a loyalty hop, you know, from who's the most beneficial for you that week. And I don't want to keep like blaming, you know, her autism and stuff, but I think it's going to be really difficult for her in this house to pick up the necessary cues to be able to loyalty hop, you know, because she's going to think that so-and-so is still loyal to her and loves her, but they're putting out all the cues that they're kind of stepping aside, but she's not picking them up. And so I think it's going to be difficult for her to. I think she needs to stick with Kyland because he also is neurodivergent. Yeah, but I think that they understand each other.
They don't. He doesn't.
I know, but to an extent, I think that they can understand each other if they give each other a chance.
Right. What does he like about her?
She is literally the only one he didn't align with, and then he put her on the block. Like he just doesn't trust her.
Yeah,
I think that's because he doesn't understand her either. I think that they need to have a good conversation where they express themselves, tell them about each other, not game, you know, just tell them about their lives and about each other. And I think they'll both be like, oh, we can relate to an extent.
I think you're right, Miranda.
I can understand you.
Normally happen had we not had Hurricane French dressing come in. And we're only on week 2. So these people really don't know each other yet. They're being forced to play too fast, too furious because of French dressings. Erotic, as they were saying last night in the feeds. Instead of saying erratic, they were saying
Brent.
So erotic.
Brent says erotic, and then he also says anonymous instead of unanimous. Brent.
Oh, Busy. How do you feel about Brent?
Oh, I never liked him. So I don't know if things have changed. Should I start liking him more?
No.
Okay,
he's worse than we thought.
No. He calls Alyssa a rat and tells her not to eat her own cake.
He's fat shaming, telling women it should only take them if it takes you more than 10 minutes to put makeup
5
on,
minutes.
or 5 minutes. Sorry, he's not interested. It's like, well, no one's interested in you, Polly Pocket. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody.
The nerve of look at what he looks like. Oh, I was about to say that I was going to be very disrespectful, but. The nerve. Okay, he could learn how to put on a little concealer.
Yeah.
he's Brent is Polly, yes, Joseph 2.0. Like he's that toxic and that insecure about his own self. He's negging these women constantly. Busy. So like he's with Alyssa.
What is this word negging? I don't know this word negging. Is this Minnesotan?
Negging or nagging? I thought it was nagging.
Yeah. It's a negative way to get attention from women. So you basically point out flaws in them, but really you like them. And it's something that I don't want people to get conditioned, especially like women, young women coming up. Like that's not a normal behavior for a healthy man who wants to date you.
He's stalking you because he likes you. That's why he's standing outside your house, girl.
I've never heard of negging. That's the first one for me.
Let me pull up the exact definition because I don't want to act like I know. And then okay. So negging is an act of emotional manipulation whereby a person makes a deliberate backhanded compliment or otherwise flirtatious remark to another person to undermine their confidence and increase their need of the manipulator's approval. The term was coined and prescribed by pickup artists. So there's this whole genre of men who sell these books and classes to other problematic men, how to be a pickup artist and pick up women and play on their insecurities, and they use that. So it became very it became mainstream then that men were doing that. And I realized that through the years, and now looking back at relationships, like I got negged, you know, by lots of guys, and I didn't even realize what it was, because again, it falls in line with what we're told as little girls. Oh, he pushed you down, that's just because he likes you, honey. It's okay, get up, wipe off your skirt, wipe off your pants, and move on. It's like, no, somebody go tell that little boy to quit pushing down little girls, to quit telling the little girls.
I was taught to push them back down. I missed whatever you were taught. I missed that.
Neggers unite. Unanimously.
You never.
I mean, anonymously. Not unanimously.
But I feel like every little girl somewhere along the line was told, like, it's just because he likes you, doesn't know how to express himself.
Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah.
I heard that as an adult. No, I know that's a thing. I just didn't hear it as a kid. But yeah, I know that's a thing.
Well, yeah, because Mama Bev is everything, you know.
Mama Bev was like,
Mama Bev wouldn't let that go.
She's like, we don't fall for this. No, we do not.
So dudes that can't get chicks, dudes that are.
So it's like an emotional manipulation that has like an insult like woven in there?
Yes, so that the person.
So how would one use it to the person? Like if Frenchie was here, or Brent, how would you say that to him? Like, oh, stop negging.
Well, I think I would just tell them exactly what
you're a douche.
You're being a douche. Using emotional manipulation. If you like her, tell her she's pretty, tell you like her. Don't comment on what she's eating. Make her feel bad about her body, so then she has to come to you and have something to prove. You know what I mean? Don't say, "Oh my God, you're so stupid." Like, be a man, because now you have full benefits at Spirit Airlines, I'm sure. And once you get the benefits, you got to emotionally evolve as well. And so I would be horrible in that house, because I would just be like, oh my God, these dudes would be crying.
Brent is probably real coddled at home, you know?
You think?
Mom probably makes
except for his sister. His sister is a badass.
Busy. It just hit me, okay?
So let's talk about on a good thing. Okay, Hannah, Tiffany, Claire, they have these dudes clocked. Like Tiffany made this great analogy her mom taught her about fishing. Did you guys see this?
I watched that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You like Frenchie and the other dudes like close your mouth because you can't catch a fish without his mouth open. So why would you listen to a fisherman? She was telling Derek X this, who never closes his mouth. Did I get that right, Busy?
Yeah. You can't catch fish. Closed mouths don't get fed, but then also no one can catch you slipping up if you don't open up your mouth. And you see here to a fisherman who all fish they pull out bait. Okay, and it's your job as a fish to not eat that bait. Okay, but you keep talking and opening up your mouth, so you're gonna get caught. And especially by a fisherman, why would you ever open up your mouth by a fisherman? It makes no sense to open up your mouth by a fisherman.
I feel like,
and Derek X don't know how to shut up. He does not know how to shut up. And I've only watched some of the live feeds, and then what they shown on the television show. He always talking.
Derek
He's always
X?
talking. Yes, it's normally
the
just
little Asian guy.
Yeah, the one when he was around his friends. I'm not saying he's going around the house.
Okay.
But when he has an opinion, the opinion comes out. He's talking about it. He's holding on to it, and it's like, girl, okay, we got it already. We understand, but he's going to talk for about a good.
That reminds me of when Tiffany, Claire, and Derek X were in the chess section, and Claire was like, so how do you feel about the situation? And Derek X was like, let me tell you. And he basically was like, he was basically just writing it all out for them and giving them all the details. And all Tiffany and Claire had to do was ask them a simple question, and he would just go for it. I was like, oh, Derek, you're so funny. You're just giving them everything. I love it.
And he had a lot.
Yeah, he did.
He had more than I realized. Like sitting back last week, because like last week he had his mouth shut. I think like he sat in a bunch of conversations where people belittled him, and he just had to sit there and look pretty. But all of a sudden he's like, well, so what I heard here, and then what I saw here, and I was like, oh, dude, you got a ton of information.
Yeah,
Thank you for sharing it with Tiffany and Claire.
Yeah, DX is definitely a recruit. You know, he's very honest and he doesn't know how to play the game, but I think he's adapting. And with the help of Tiffany, who has really kind of taken him under her wing, I think he's going to do well. And the fact that he's winning comps on top of that. So, but and Hannah does the best French dressing and impressions. Like
I love Hannah so much.
You're doing amazing, Hannah. People are like, Hannah needs to do more. What can she do more? It's week 2. She's got people clocked. She's working her socials. I mean, it's week 2, everybody. Like, French dressing is such a bad super fan. He thinks we're going to have a wall comp for a veto in week 2. Like, that's how bad of a super fan he is. He sucks. Did I say
and people need to remember that Frenchie is the one that fast forwarded everything. He overplayed. So just because Hannah is kind of taking it mellow, that's how you're supposed to be. It's week 2. Week 2. Like, I'm so frustrated. It's only week 2, people.
And she's got loyal, members now, or like partners, people to work with. Like,
and she knows what's going on.
Sitting pretty. Yeah.
Again, I don't know if I've seen such a great social game and reads on people as Tiffany has by week 2.
Oh, Tiffany's nailing it. I'm so in love with Tiffany.
Comparing her to Dan Giesling, I'm like, she's on her own level. She's not a Dan Giesling. We're going to be calling people Tiffany players if this keeps up.
Yeah. What's her last name?
Tiffany Mitchell, I think.
Okay, we're going to be saying that's a Tiffany Mitchell, not a Dan Giesling, because she's not at all Dan Giesling, in my opinion. She's on another level of things we haven't seen players before, in my opinion. I think.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
No, never.
I'm keeping. What do you guys think about Kyland?
I want to know why. What was his decision? Did he talk about what his decision was for picking who he selected to go up on the block?
Mm-hmm.
Outside of just like, I don't like
crazy.
her. Okay, French is crazy.
And he doesn't have any ties with Brittany, and so that was an easy one for him.
So basically, let me show you what kind of happened here. Not this, but there was a new, let me get it together. Okay, so there's a new kind of alliance that has developed, the Kings, the Queens, and Derek X, to take down Frenchie, and they're just kind of protecting each other. Mm-hmm. And Brittany was the one when he called her into the DR to talk to her, because Kyland was, or in the DR, in the HOH room to talk to her.
I was saying, he's really calling shots now.
When Kyland called everyone, Brittany was the one who didn't mention anything about getting rid of Frenchie. Like, I think he feels like she's a big advocate and big ally to Frenchie. So it's like, I'm going to put her up. I don't have any ties to her. I have a lot of ties to the cookout. I have a lot of ties to the former slaughterhouse. I have ties to my team. There's also a whole team I can't put up my own. And then you got a wild card comp. He wouldn't have put Sarah up anyways, but he didn't have a ton of choices except for Brent, Whitney, Frenchie, and maybe, I think those were kind of the people he was leaning towards. But then with Britt, from talking to her, he realized, I'm going to put her up because if she wins, she could take French dressing down.
Okay.
But I think
she was the only one to. She was the only one that didn't throw Frenchie under the bus immediately.
Exactly. And everyone else, because Frenchie blew up his game busy and decided to go. I mean, he blew up his game the first day he walked in with like, I'm going to protect women and chickens and people of color because we're underrepresented and I got a truck and it got dented and I've been oppressed. And you're like, my NAACP emails told me this. And you're like, bro, just shut up. Just
BLM.
Yeah, he's a BLMer. So he puts the hashtag in and he does nothing more to help the world.
Never said Black Lives Matter in his life. He's only a BLMO.
He's like, what are the letters? It's B
L M T B.
Any more letter? Okay.
B S. I'm the best person ever. Okay, so he thought, he'll put Brittany up, and then she lost it and was very, very, very upset. Mm-hmm. And then it's just been kind of a mess.
Well, I like him. It seemed like it was a smart move. Back to your question, sir. I think there was a smart move. I like it. I like him. It seems like he's thinking a lot of things through. Is he as emotional as I was getting the first week?
Yeah.
Okay. So I like him more.
Oh, Kyland is very emotional. He was crying. He feels bad. Like, he regularly looks at the cameras and the feeds busy, and he was like, you guys just have empathy for people. I'm paraphrasing, but basically, like, this is a game and everybody's good at their core. And I'm like, oh my God, Kyland, you're too good for this game. And he said on the feeds that the producers, while they were casting, or the producers, I think after they cast him, said, I think you might be too nice for this game. And I think they might be right. Like he's doing great. But he's if he didn't have the Tiffany's and the Claires and Sarah Beth's there, I think he might be emotionally manipulated by someone like French dressing, unfortunately.
Well, I think that was on its way of happening, but luckily the entire house turned on Frenchie, so that it didn't. It was a possibility. It almost became reality.
Yeah. I'm very worried about him. Like, you guys have way more faith. I think he already was manipulated by Frenchie. In that alliance that you just showed has not officially happened for one. I mean, there are a couple reasons, but one of them is Kyland hasn't officially agreed to it. It's been pitched to him multiple times by different people, and he always comes back with well, what about Brent and Whitney? What if we aligned with them? So I think he's already been sucked in by Frenchie, Brett, Whitney, Derek F. Like, I don't think he wants to leave them or lose them. He had no choice but to put Frenchie up. His slaughterhouse, that's where his loyalty is. They're the ones who threw Frenchie under the bus. So he had to do it to keep the other 7 left of Slaughterhouse loyal. So I'm proud of our emotional little king here that he was able to put a couple people up, but he's not actually really aligned with Derek X. He's not really falling for these people who are trying to show him, like, let's band together.
I agree.
Even after all their talks, him and Derek X talking more and more, you don't think that because I think you're right in that the Slaughterhouse, he was still asking, like, are we still going to go forward with that? Even if, like, he still kind of wants to go forward with that, it seemed like, for a while. But you don't think because I think his conversations with Sarah Beth prove that, you know, he's loyal to her, and he wants to share a lot of information. I think with Tiffany and Claire,
they're great,
being open with them. Xavier, he talks to like no other. I feel like he feels very comfortable, where Kyland sometimes has a hard time. He's just one of those people. I won't even say a hard time. He's just someone who's like, let me think about this. You know, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I feel like with Xavier, he's just much more open to be able to.
But Xavier's Slaughterhouse.
Yeah, Xavier, you're right. Xavier
he's not as open with Tiffany and Claire. He's not as open with Derek X. Even last night, so like Derek X won veto, right? So Kyland and Derek X sit down, they have a nice long talk, and Kyland is still circling back to, well, what really do you see is dangerous about Christian and Alyssa? What do you see? Why really, like, wouldn't I want to work with Brent and Whitney? Like, he's still asking those questions. So no, I don't think they've gotten into.
Yeah, Sarah, that you make a good point, because even Tiffany was like, we should put, instead of putting French dressing maybe directly up, we need to put his knights, did she call them? Up, or his, so that would be Whitney and Brent. And then, you know, obviously he didn't do that. So
there was no way he'd put Whitney up. If he had more people convincing him about Brent, maybe, but he loves Whitney.
What is she doing?
Well, I think he has a crush on her.
Okay.
So I think
he
has. That's what people are saying on. Now this is the alliance jackpot.
And
the Kingslayers.
And the Kingslayers, yes,
Brittany,
please.
probably, because I just don't know if maybe she can be brought back once French dressing's gone. But, and the cookout, obviously. Okay, so
this is they're gonna have a hard time.
I can tell. I can already tell.
Gonna F this up. He's already getting into Oz's brain.
But I feel like Xavier might F it up too.
They haven't. I don't think they've officially
She's
been
officially.
Is she?
Okay. Yeah. This is the one I made before they officially. I did this like right in the beginning when they formed, and they said Hannah was going to be. We're going to protect her, but I didn't feel as though she's like, this is the cookout. I don't know if I ever heard
this
that.
This is the perfect time. I love the cookout. Okay.
Like Monday, Tuesday, baby.
I'm gonna get on the road. I love you, ladies. Keep doing what you're doing.
Bye, Busy.
Thank you. Bye. Good to see you. Right. Kiss that baby.
Real quick, I think that Big D and Xavier and possibly Kyland are going to be the downfall of the cookout.
Yeah, that's why Tiffany and Ozza.
Maybe.
Oh, honey, Xavier is so not playing the game.
No, and he is really far up Whitney's butt. And
you're right, because I saw them cuddling. Now I'm trying to think versus what I want to happen versus what is really happening, Joleen.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah, we need
the
good
Cuddle
reality,
City,
Joleen.
reality. Okay, so the Cuddle City is Xavier and Whitney were cuddling right next to Alyssa and Christian, which is so interesting because Xavier really wants Alyssa. Alyssa wants Christian. Brent wants Alyssa.
It's a whole cluster.
It's this whole cluster. So I still do have hope for Xavier, but I understand what you're saying. But just like I think, I'm sorry, who said it in the chat? The women are really, I think if they said the cookout too, but mostly the women being like Tiffany, Hannah, Claire, Sarah Beth, Azza, when she's able to get out of that toxic room, are the backbone and the strength. And a lot of these people are liabilities. So Derek F is now coming for Tiffany.
Yeah, they had a fight.
Yeah. And I think that it's going to boil down to the women being their own alliance, their own little mini cookout. Because Xavier is in a cuddle manse with Whitney. Big D is in a fantasy manse with French Fry. And then you have Mr. Kyland, who for some reason is so obsessed with Brent and Whitney and that whole situation. And even still, he's more loyal to Sarah Beth than he is to the cookout, I think, in my opinion.
He really is. Did you guys catch this was before Kylan won HOH, when Xavier and Big D were talking about the cookout, and Big D said, the cookout's going to have to end. And he made it really funny. He was like, you're going to have to pack up your mac and cheese because it ain't seasoned right. But he was talking about Kyland. Like, they didn't like Kyland. They didn't want to work with Kyland. They think Kyland's not playing a great game. They're only like passively being polite to him right now because he's HOH. But Kyland is not aware of any of this, and he's super loyal. Oh, and I just also wanted to make a point about, you guys were talking about how Brittany didn't throw Frenchie under the bus, but you know who else didn't? Xavier didn't. Yeah. And Brent didn't. Yeah. Kyland offered up the information to Xavier that people are worried about Frenchie and he might have to go. How do you feel about that? And Xavier just went along with it. Xavier never said anything bad about him. And then same thing with Brent. Brent said nothing bad about Frenchie. Kyland had to keep, like, are you sure there's nothing you want to tell me? Like, are you sure there wasn't something that happened? And eventually Brent was like, oh yeah, like he blew up the alliance to Whitney, but did not make a big deal about it. So I don't understand why Kyland is not seeing this stuff.
Well,
because I think because they're men, and it's they always band together.
Yeah, and maybe he thinks it's a loyalty to the slaughterhouse because they're all in that together. And with Brittany, she wasn't in it, yet he felt like went for Frenchie. But you can make the argument, well, Brittany's technically on Frenchie's team. So that's a whole set alliance by Big Brother.
Right. And I wish that someone had maybe argued that for Brittany. I wish Kyland had maybe approached, I don't know, like Tiffany with that information. And maybe Tiffany could have been like, well, they're on the same team.
Yeah, because Miranda, that makes so much more sense because I feel like now I'm getting a better, as saying it out loud for Brittany. Brittany, with her strategy coming in of loyalty, of course she's not going to target someone on her team. Even if she's mad at French dressing, in her heart of hearts, she said, I'm going to be loyal. So she thinks we're a team. Also, Brittany, things are coming to me. Things are happening to me, you guys. Brittany is a big softball player. She talks about it all the time. Being on a team is very important to her. She talks at that time as just being, and I was an softball player, so I get that kind of camaraderie, but I'm not as loyal as her, believe me. And so I think that
yes, you are.
Not to a fault. Well, maybe to a fault.
But I don't know.
But I want to be like, I don't want to fall. Anyway, I'm getting off track. Okay. ADD, Joleen. All right. So I can understand now why she would do that and why it would be misinterpreted, because she's coming from this place of team. Like, we're on a team. Big Brother said we're on a team, so we're going to be on a team as long as we can. So I'm not going to throw him under the bus, even though he out there saying that I started this girls alliance, that I wasn't even there when it formed, and he started it. But so I'll say I'm mad, but I'm still loyal. So this makes more sense now. And also how they could, they don't have the strategic mind of Tiffany Mitchell. Unfortunately, neither Kyland.
And I think
we can't all be blessed.
I think it would have been proof that Kyland is more capable of, I guess, going to what I call the good side, which, is Tiffany's section of the house. If he had listened to Tiffany and her argument when they had their conversation in the HOH room. I felt like she presented a very good argument for putting up Brent and Whitney, and it made a lot of sense to keep Frenchie on the side as a possible backdoor or a possible renom situation. And I think that would have been proof that Kyland there's the possibility is there for him to hop over to this side. I think he's really stuck on the slaughterhouse.
I think you're right, Miranda. He should have listened to Tiffany, knowing just how her reads are so good. Her analogies are so good. She brings in all this great stuff, but he unfortunately, is more loyal to that. So Michael Brown's asking, when do you guys think, oh, sorry, go ahead, Sarah.
No, I was just going to mimic because he said, so maybe we work with Brent and Whitney. And she was like, if you work with a snake, you're just waiting for your head to get bit off.
Yeah.
Like,
she said that's a 3-headed monster,
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I wish he would have listened to Tiffany. Okay, so we got to wrap up here because I know Sarah's got another one and Miranda
I gotta go walk my dog.
And I don't know. I got to take off this eye makeup because my eyes are running. When do you guys think the team twist ends? After the 4th eviction? Things will get very different after that.
Yeah, I think 4. Yeah. There's 4 on each team. There's 4 teams. I think the 4th eviction.
Ooh, good.
Yep. They told us it was 4 weeks, so that makes sense.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh, they did? Okay.
They're kind of like making it some deep thing. The 4th eviction, 4 people.
Yeah.
4 kids. Sarah's like, yeah, they said 4 weeks.
They just said
4
4
really
weeks.
was believing you, Miranda. I thought, Miranda, your mind, it's a Tiffany Mitchell mind. Oh my God. I wonder because BB can. I feel like the team thing ended after like week 2 or something, didn't it? It was so quick. I mean, they still slept in rooms.
Yeah, I think it was quick, but we're gonna get it for 4 weeks. So yeah,
Miranda figured it out. She cracked the case of
she cracked the code.
4 weeks. Okay,
my mind.
So just to sum up, we have French dressing and Brittany on the block. Hey, husband.
Hi, Joe.
Oh, look at him in the salmon shorts.
Yes, sir.
A trip to Old Naves yesterday.
Oh.
Ooh, Coke. He's just keeping me all decaffeinated.
He brings you snacks. He brings you drinks.
He's my sweetest baby. I love him so much. Okay, gross. Don't get gross. But I just, in those pink shorts, he was making me an omelet this morning. I was touching his butt like this. Okay, quit objectifying your husband on live, Joleen. I can't help it. That's why you get married. Okay. So French dressing and Brittany are on the block.
Yeah.
Sarah Beth won the wild card.
She beat Frenchie and Brent.
And we didn't talk about how Brent and Sarah had that conversation where he asked her, did Frenchie ask you to throw it? Because he asked me to throw it. And I was like, Frenchie effing would.
He would. And he did.
That little guy, I swear, he would ask that, wouldn't he?
He would.
And then he told everybody else that he threw it to them.
Yeah,
or to Sarah.
right. Yeah, after he lost, he was like, you guys, I threw that.
Yeah. After asking them to throw it to him.
Like, the ego, let your ego go, bro. Okay, Minnesota.
I think it's the opposite of ego. I think it's insecurity. I think he's
he's one of those guys
to protect our insecurity is we push our ego forward.
Yeah, exactly.
Let it go. But
he's one of those guys that hides behind his confident ego.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's really powered with insecurity.
Yeah, he's so insecure.
He cries when he pleasures himself. That's what we're saying. Okay.
And I don't think
I'm smart.
He does not represent Capricorns very well.
No, thank you. No. Oh,
I just want that to be clear.
Miranda, somebody just recently told me that we were wrong about Derek X and that he's actually a Pisces. But I'm having a hard time with this.
He's a Pisces.
I think I heard that.
We had him as an Aries, and he definitely seems like an Aries, or he could be just like a fire sign. I would buy it.
My husband's an Aries. No,
Derek X.
Yeah, Derek X is wonderful.
Derek F.
No,
Derek X. The good Derek.
Then that makes sense because Chel's very Derek X. He's sweet. Sometimes people
he's
take
so
that as like
funny.
a weakness.
Like so I enjoy his jokes.
Yeah, he's very outgoing. But I can see Pisces too. He had a few crying moments.
Well, yeah, he did. He got emotional.
Yeah, he's pretty sensitive too.
He could be a Pisces with some rising fire or something like that.
I love you guys and your risings.
Anyways.
Okay, so Derek X is not going to use the veto, he said. I mean, I know the veto ceremony's tomorrow and things could change, but I don't see it happening because he's talked to Kyland a lot, and oh my God, my makeup is just smudging off. So do you guys think there's a chance that French dressing could come back from his cries of going home and all the mess he's made and actually stay this week? And if you don't, do either of you have any tips, even though we don't like him, of what he could do to get himself out of this?
Well, be honest for once. Maybe apologize without having an excuse or blaming somebody else. But no, I don't think that there's any way to save him. I don't think the entire house was throwing him under the bus. Like I said in my last video, he was Regina George, and that bus was just hitting him over and over and over again. And they were just throwing him under there, on top of there, through it, to the sides, like all over the place, because everybody is uniting in their French fry hate. And so do I think that he could get back from that? No, not when, how many people is it now? 12 or 13 people are against you. And I guess it's more like 10, because I need to give leeway for Xavier, Derek F, and I guess Kyland. Kyland doesn't hate Frenchie.
Yeah, there was a way for him to get out of this. There was, but he already messed it up. I mean, he blew up his game before noms even happened. Like, he just keeps digging holes for himself. It's really quite incredible and very embarrassing. So no,
and he keeps taking his shovel and digging more holes.
Yes,
next to his main hole.
You guys are probably, you're right, but you never know with Big Brother.
You never know.
You never know. And with the right amount of manipulation and a hint of self-awareness, and maybe some kind of, like Miranda said, some kind of, my grandmother on her dying bed said, do whatever you have to do in that house. And so I wanted to do that, but now I realize I got to do what's right for French Dog and for all you people in here. And what if he just, I know he tried to do Dan's funeral eulogy, which is your first mistake. Be your own player. Week one, and he's using pawns. Yeah. So I guess never say never. I don't want him to stay at all. But it would be interesting feeds if, instead of just being a big baby quitter pants and playing that card, which we all knew he was going to play because that's so typical for someone with his personality or personality disorder, to play that way. But it would be much more interesting if he fought and he had, but I don't think it's going to happen. But if the producers maybe led him in, you know how they like to get involved a little bit.
I just don't see it happening while he's sitting next to Brittany. Maybe if he was sitting next to Brent and he could work Brent was the brain behind all of this.
Exactly, Miranda. And that's what he should be doing today to get Derek X and Kyland, because like you guys said, Kyland is still iffy and he should feel those things out. French dressing showed that Kyland isn't 100%. It's not like Tiffany's the HOH where it would be an end all be all, you're going home. There's still hope. There's always hope that veto could be used on you. So if he could transfer the mess to Brent, which Tiffany originally wanted Brent.
Yeah.
So if you could at least get Brittany off, at least work to get Brittany off, put Brent up.
Yeah.
You stand a chance in the week still fighting.
I just don't see Frenchie making that connection. No. Now, if somebody else were to present that possibility to him, like let's say Derek F. If Derek F. was to present him with the, hey, why don't you pin all of this on Brent? But I don't see him doing that because Brent is a part of the slaughterhouse. And I think
Brittany did bring it up. It has been brought up. I mean, well, Frenchie obviously brought it up already. And Brittany brought it up because Azza and Tiffany told her to do that.
Okay, I must have missed it.
And he was like, yeah, no, girl, we're not using the veto. I think that one of the positives about Kyland is that once he gets stuck on a decision, he doesn't get swayed like Frenchie got swayed every 5 minutes last week. So I agree. Like, it could have happened. It could have been a thing, but I think we've passed the point.
Yeah.
You as a player, Sarah, if you're in there and just, I mean, I know you know what the viewers see now, but would you want Brent out before you'd want French dressing out?
They both need to go. And so had Kylan targeted Brent and got Brent on the block, then yes, stay the course, get Brent out. But they're both really big targets. They're both heads of the snakes, as Tiffany said. So if you start with Frenchie, do not do something dumb like Jackson did where you like change course and all of a sudden Brent's the target. Yes, no, Brent needs to go next week. Like you can't keep playing the game. It's bad for your game to have Frenchie in the house and or Brent. So
yeah, especially if you put one already on the block.
Yes. Just get them out and then get the next one out and like work this week to get your numbers. Like listen to Tiffany. Tiffany's doing the right thing. We got to get our numbers together so that odds are Brent goes out next week.
Yeah.
Great. That's good for your game. If you keep Frenchie right now, not good for your game. He has an excuse to go after every single person in the house.
Oh, you ladies are so smart. I love chatting with you because you guys like open my eyes to things when I'm like hopeful something. You're like, no, and it's just fun. It's just so fun chatting with my BB besties. So thank you guys. Make sure you go sub Maranda, aka Honestly Honecker. If you guys aren't sub, Miranda's over 5K now. You're well over 5K, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hitting my 6-year anniversary, so it's been a slow crawl, but that's okay because I do not post. Joleen and Sarah do so.
Listen, I mean, it's at any time you pop up in the algorithm and you all of a sudden your videos start populating. That's really all it takes. With this.
Well, yeah, YouTube really does not like me.
I mean, I know that from Big Brother. Sarah knows that from Survivor. I mean, we see our numbers skyrocket because we YouTube puts us in the algorithm, whether it's from tagging, whatever. But any help you need, Maranda, I was just showing Couch Potato Queens how I tag up my videos.
Oh, I tag my videos like crazy. I do all the things. It's just I really only post.
It's really the likes and the comments, you guys.
Yeah,
we can tag all we want, but we don't get into the algorithm until
people
people are like responding to our video. That's what tells YouTube that we weren't a crap,
exactly.
Piece of
and Big Brother season is when most people comment on my stuff. So I just limit my channel to Big Brother, and I'm gonna have my other channel be more other things.
I'm excited for your other channel too, Miranda. And
I'm gonna post on that after Big Brother because I can't do two things at once. Obviously, I don't have Sarah in real life to reel me in and to keep me focused.
Look at YouTube recommends Maranda to me all the time.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right. And Sarah, obviously you can follow Sarah at Nerdtainment, Sarah and David, Sarah Chantal. Sarah is collabing with Tar people. She does after the Amazing Race interviews. Like Sarah is in it. You hit well over 6K now, my friend.
Yeah, Sarah is killing it.
You got a Survivor date, Sarah. Sarah is the best Survivor channel on YouTube. I'm just going to put it out there. I don't care what anybody says. Sarah and David kill it at Survivor. It's fun. They know everything. They made me get more into Survivor. So you have a date.
Yay. That's
a date. Like a Survivor date.
I thought sorry, not a date. I was like,
I'm going on a date with Probes. Say it here. Yep, it's happening.
Cargo shorts.
Look, if I got Joleen into Survivor, then I've done my job.
You not only got me, then I got my husband, and now me and Chell love Survivor to the point where he wants to apply, and I think he'd be fantastic, except for no cuddling. Me and Miranda already talked that Sparrow's going to go on it, and Chell, and they're going to cuddle each other.
Oh yeah, I've actually been thinking about that for a while. Now we need to include Sarah's husband, but he's a Capricorn, right? And they're not like that. They don't cuddle like that. So I don't think he'll be in the cuddle mance with Chell and Sparrow, but that's okay.
No,
Douglas will be like, cool, friends. Cool.
I don't cuddle either. We touch each other like this.
But see, Sparrow has a Capricorn Venus, and my Leo Venus needs all the attention and all the cuddles, and Sparrow's Cap Venus is like,
I'm always touching Chell. Is that an Aquarius thing? Like I'm always.
It might be my sister who's an Aquarius. Her love language is definitely touch. She like sits on top of me when we talk. Like she can't not be touching.
See, that's my Leo Venus. I need it in my Libra moon
that I let touch me.
I can't imagine that because sometimes I'll hold Sarah a little longer for a hug and just smell her. Like you're a freak.
Whereas Joleen and I, when we were together, we were sitting so close together. I was like caressing her leg.
I know. We're just like this.
Oh, I know.
We're freaks, Sarah. That's why we all get along so well. All right, Sarah, you have a run. You have a live stream today.
Yes, let's go.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
No, I don't have a live stream today. I just have family things that I have to do. Yeah.
Oh, she's got a life.
Thank you, ladies, so much. Thank you to everyone who gave super chats and comments and likes. Like this video up so it pops up in the algorithm. Like Sarah was saying, engagement is so powerful. Even if you dislike this video, I hate to tell you, you're helping.
It helps.
So thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, so
Thank
do
you,
something.
friends.
Don't not do
Yes.
anything.
Yeah.
Do something. Yeah.
We'll take it.
So I'll probably be back after the episode and go sub to these beautiful ladies in BusyBlu, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
If you like what you see,